Over 60? Eat these 3 breakfast foods daily to support kidney health and lower creatinine. Have you ever looked at your lab results, seen that creatinine number creeping up, and felt completely lost about what to do next? You wake up each morning, maybe feeling a bit slower than you used to, and wonder if there's something simple you could be doing right now to protect your kidneys. Here's what most people don't realize. Your breakfast sets the tone for how hard your kidneys work all day long. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 3 specific breakfast foods that can genuinely help lower creatinine levels and support kidney function after 60. These aren't exotic or expensive. They're accessible, easy to prepare, and when eaten consistently, they make a real difference. Let's start with the first food, and I know what you might be thinking when you hear buckwheat. It sounds old-fashioned, maybe even a bit unfamiliar. But here's the thing. Buckwheat isn't actually a grain at all. It's a seed, and that small detail makes a big difference when you're trying to support your kidneys. Buckwheat porridge. Most of us have grown up eating wheat-based cereals, oatmeal, or toast for breakfast. Those aren't bad foods, but when your creatinine levels are elevated, your kidneys are sending you a signal. They're working harder than they should be to filter waste from your blood. Buckwheat gives your body what it needs without adding to that burden. The reason comes down to protein. Buckwheat contains less protein than regular wheat or oats, and while protein is essential for staying strong and healthy, too much of it creates extra waste that your kidneys have to process. After 60, your kidneys naturally slow down a bit. They don't filter as quickly or as efficiently as they did in your younger years. When you eat a high-protein breakfast every single morning, you're asking them to work overtime right from the start of the day. Buckwheat takes a different approach. It gives you steady, reliable energy through fiber and complex carbohydrates, but it doesn't flood your system with protein waste. Over time, this lighter workload helps bring creatinine levels down because your kidneys aren't constantly playing catch-up. There's another benefit that often gets overlooked. Buckwheat doesn't spike your blood sugar the way refined grains do. When your blood sugar jumps up and down throughout the day, it creates inflammation and puts stress on your entire system, including your kidneys. Buckwheat releases energy slowly and evenly, which keeps everything stable. That stability matters more than people realize when you're trying to protect kidney function long-term. So how do you actually prepare it? It's simpler than you'd think. The night before, take about 1/3 of a cup of buckwheat groats and rinse them under cold water. Place them in a small bowl, cover them with water, and leave them on the counter overnight. In the morning, drain the water and rinse them again. Put the groats in a small pot with about 1 cup of water or unsweetened almond milk, bring it to a gentle simmer, and cook for about 10 to 12 minutes until soft. You'll know it's ready when it looks creamy and the groats have absorbed most of the liquid. Now, I'll be honest with you, if you've never eaten buckwheat before, the first time might feel a bit unfamiliar. The texture is softer than oatmeal, and the flavor is mild and slightly nutty. Some people love it right away. Others need a few tries before it feels like home. That's completely normal. To make it more enjoyable, add a small sprinkle of cinnamon while it's cooking. Cinnamon adds warmth and a touch of natural sweetness without any sugar. If you want a bit of fruit, a small handful of blueberries or a few thin apple slices work well. Keep the portions modest, though. The goal is gentle nourishment, not a heavy meal. Before we move on to the second food, I want to hear from you. Are you over 60 and actively working to bring your creatinine levels down? If yes, type yes in the comments. If you're watching this to help a parent or someone you care about, type helping. Knowing who's here helps me create content that actually fits your situation. And if you want more straightforward, real-world guidance on protecting your kidneys naturally, subscribe to Kidney Health and turn on the notification bell. This kind of information doesn't show up in doctors' offices often enough, and I don't want you to miss it. What matters most isn't perfection. It's consistent. Eating buckwheat porridge 3 or 4 mornings a week over several weeks and months is what creates real change. Your body responds to patterns, not one-off meals. Give it time, and you'll notice that your energy feels more stable, your digestion settles, and when you check your labs again, those numbers may start moving in the right direction. Now that we've covered a gentler carbohydrate option, let's talk about protein. Your body still needs it, especially after 60 when muscle strength becomes more important than ever. The question isn't whether to eat protein at breakfast. It's about choosing the type that supports your kidneys instead of straining them. Egg whites with fresh herbs. This is where egg whites come in, and I want to be clear about something right away. I'm talking specifically about the whites, not the whole egg. There's a reason for that, and it has everything to do with what's happening inside your body when creatinine levels rise. When you eat a whole egg, you're getting protein from both the white and the yolk. The yolk is rich in nutrients, but it also contains phosphorus. For someone with healthy kidneys, that's not a problem. But when your kidneys are working harder to keep up, phosphorus becomes something you need to watch. It builds up in your blood when your kidneys can't filter it properly. And over time, that buildup can weaken your bones and create other complications you don't want to deal with. The egg white, on the other hand, gives you pure, high-quality protein without the phosphorus load. It's one of the cleanest protein sources you can find. Your body uses it efficiently to maintain muscle, support your immune system, and keep your energy steady throughout the morning. But because it's low in waste-producing compounds, it doesn't add extra pressure on your filtering system. I know some people hear this and immediately think they're giving up all the nutrition in the yolk. And yes, the yolk does contain vitamins and healthy fats. But here's the reality. When kidney health is your priority, you're making a trade-off that makes sense for your situation. You're choosing to protect the organs that keep your entire body functioning properly. That's not a loss. That's a smart, informed decision. So how do you make egg whites taste good? Because let's be honest, plain egg whites can feel a bit bland if you're used to whole eggs. The key is fresh herbs and simple, safe vegetables. Start with 2 to 3 egg whites. Crack them into a bowl and whisk them lightly with a fork. Heat a small nonstick pan over medium-low heat and add just a tiny bit of olive oil or a quick spray of cooking oil. Pour in the egg whites and let them cook gently. As they begin to set, use a spatula to fold them softly, creating a light scramble. Right before they're fully cooked, sprinkle in some chopped fresh parsley, basil, or chives. These herbs add flavor, color, and a pleasant freshness that makes the dish feel complete. If you prefer something a bit more filling, try a simple omelet. Whisk the egg whites the same way, pour them into the pan, and let them spread into a thin layer. Once the edges start to firm up, add a small handful of diced bell peppers or thin slices of zucchini on 1/2. These vegetables are low in potassium, which makes them safer choices when you're managing kidney function. Fold the omelet over, let it cook for another minute, and slide it onto your plate. Portion size matters here. 2 to 3 egg whites is the sweet spot. It's enough protein to keep you satisfied and support your muscle health, but it's not so much that you're overwhelming your system first thing in the morning. Remember, the goal is balance, not restriction. You're not depriving yourself. You're giving your body exactly what it needs to function well. If this information is making sense and giving you practical steps you can actually take tomorrow morning, please take a moment to hit the like button. I know it seems like a small thing, but it genuinely helps this reach someone else who's sitting at home right now, staring at their lab results, feeling lost about where to start. Your like could be the reason they find the guidance they need. What makes this approach work is the daily repetition. One morning of egg whites won't change your creatinine level, but when you make this a regular part of your routine, 3 or 4 times a week, your kidneys get consistent relief from the heavy phosphorus load they'd otherwise be managing. Small shifts like this add up quietly in the background, and that's when you start seeing real progress in your health markers. We've talked about a grain alternative and a clean protein source. Now I want to introduce something that might seem a bit unconventional at first. But stick with me because this one works in a way the other two don't. Cabbage and apple slaw. Most people think of vegetables as something you eat at lunch or dinner. Breakfast is usually reserved for toast, eggs, cereal, or maybe some fruit. But when you're focused on kidney health, adding fresh raw vegetables to your morning routine can give your body a powerful reset that lasts all day. The combination I'm suggesting is simple. Shredded cabbage mixed with thinly sliced apple. Yes, cabbage for breakfast. I know that sounds unusual, maybe even a little strange if you've never tried it. But here's why it works so well for your kidneys. Cabbage is one of the most underestimated vegetables when it comes to supporting detoxification. It's packed with antioxidants and natural compounds that help your liver and kidneys process waste more efficiently. When your creatinine is elevated, it means waste products are building up in your blood faster than your kidneys can clear them out. Cabbage contains substances that activate specific detox pathways in your body, making it easier for your kidneys to do their job without extra strain. What makes cabbage especially valuable is that it's low in potassium compared to most other vegetables. When kidney function declines, potassium can accumulate in your blood and cause serious problems with your heart rhythm. That's why many vegetables, like spinach or tomatoes, need to be limited. Cabbage doesn't carry that same risk. You can eat it regularly without worrying about potassium levels creeping up. Now let's talk about the apple. Apples bring two important things to this combination. First, they add natural sweetness that balances out the slight bitterness of raw cabbage. Second, they're rich in soluble fiber, the kind that slows down how quickly sugar enters your bloodstream. When your blood sugar stays steady instead of spiking up and down, you reduce inflammation throughout your entire body. That matters because chronic inflammation is one of the hidden drivers of kidney damage over time. The apple acts as a gentle stabilizer, keeping your metabolism calm and controlled from the moment you start your day. Preparing this slaw takes less than 5 minutes. Take about half a cup of green or red cabbage and shred it finely using a knife or a grater. The finer you shred it, the easier it is to chew and digest. Take half of a small apple, remove the core, and slice it into thin matchsticks or small cubes. Toss the cabbage and apple together in a bowl. Squeeze a bit of fresh lemon juice over the top, maybe half a lemon's worth, and drizzle on just a small amount of olive oil. A teaspoon is enough. The lemon brightens the flavor and adds vitamin C, while the olive oil helps your body absorb the nutrients better. I understand this might not sound like a typical breakfast dish. You might be wondering if it'll fill you up or if it'll taste good. Here's my suggestion. Don't try to eat a huge bowl of it on your first attempt. Start with a small side portion, maybe a quarter cup, and have it alongside your buckwheat porridge or egg whites. Let your taste buds adjust. Some people find they actually enjoy the crunch and freshness right away. Others need a week or two before it feels normal. If the flavor feels too plain, add a pinch of fresh dill, parsley, or a light sprinkle of black pepper. These herbs are safe for kidney health and add character without overwhelming the natural taste of the cabbage and apple. What I want you to understand is that this isn't just about filling your stomach. This slaw works quietly in the background, doing things you can't immediately feel. It reduces oxidative stress. It supports your body's natural repair processes. It helps your kidneys eliminate toxins more smoothly. These benefits build up gradually, day after day, and that's when you start seeing measurable improvements in how you feel and what your lab results show. You don't have to eat it every single morning. But if you can work it in 3 or 4 times a week, you're giving your kidneys consistent, reliable support that they desperately need at this stage of life. So now you have 3 foods: buckwheat porridge, egg whites with fresh herbs, and cabbage and apple slaw. You might be wondering how to fit all of this into your life without turning breakfast into a complicated production. The answer is simpler than you think. You don't need to eat all 3 of these foods every single morning. That's not realistic, and honestly, it's not necessary. What works better is rotation. Some mornings you might have buckwheat porridge with a bit of cinnamon and a few blueberries. Other days, you scramble up some egg whites with parsley and bell peppers. On weekends, When you have a bit more time, you might prepare the cabbage and apple slaw and pair it with one of the other options. The goal is to get each of these foods into your week regularly, maybe 3 or 4 times each. That gives your kidneys consistent support without making you feel like you're stuck in a rigid eating plan. Life happens. Some mornings you'll be rushed. Some days you won't feel like cooking. That's fine. Progress doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from showing up more often than not and making choices that move you forward, even if they're small. I want to be very clear about expectations here. Food is powerful, but it works gradually. If your creatinine level is 1.8 today, it's not going to drop to 1.2 in a week just because you ate buckwheat and egg whites. Your body needs time to adjust, heal, and respond. You're looking at weeks and months, not days. But here's what I can promise you. If you stick with this, if you make these foods a regular part of your mornings, you will see change. Your energy will feel steadier. Your digestion will improve. And when you get your next set of lab results, there's a very good chance those numbers will be moving in the right direction. These foods are not a substitute for medical care. If your doctor has prescribed medication or recommended specific treatments, keep following that guidance. What you're doing here is supporting your body from the inside, giving it the raw materials it needs to function better. Think of it as working alongside your medical team, not replacing them. One thing I encourage you to do is keep a simple journal or mental note of how you feel over the next few weeks. You don't need to write essays. Just jot down a sentence or two each week. More energy in the afternoons. Sleeping better. Less brain fog. These small shifts are easy to miss when you're living them day to day, but when you look back after a month or two, you'll see patterns that tell you this is working. After 60, your kidneys need gentler, more thoughtful support. They've been working for you every single day of your life, filtering waste, balancing fluids, and keeping your blood clean. Now it's your turn to take care of them. Breakfast is the perfect time to do that because it sets the metabolic tone for everything that follows. When you start your day with foods that nourish instead of burden, you give your entire system a chance to operate smoothly. This isn't about perfection. It's not about never eating toast again or giving up everything you enjoy. It's about making small, informed choices that add up over time. Every morning, you choose buckwheat over a heavy breakfast sandwich. Every time you scramble egg whites instead of frying whole eggs in butter, every bowl of fresh slaw you prepare, you're doing something meaningful for your health. Those actions compound quietly in the background, and that's when real change happens. And if you know someone over 60 who's dealing with rising creatinine, fatigue, or kidney concerns they don't fully understand, please share this video with them. Sometimes the people we care about don't know where to look for this kind of practical, grounded information. Your share could be what helps them take their first real step toward supporting their kidney health naturally. If you found this helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment and let me know which of these 3 foods you're going to try first this week. And remember, supporting your kidney health is a journey, not a race. Take it one morning at a time. Be patient with yourself and trust that your body knows how to heal when you give it what it needs.